Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. We're taking a close look at the Samsung DU7110 55-inch Crystal UHD Smart TV.
Sounds like someone's doing their homework.
You know it. I see you've been checking it on Amazon, reading all those customer reviews.
Smart move. Always good to get the inside scoop before making a big purchase.
Exactly. So I've got the Amazon listing pulled up right here. And right off the bat, a few things jump out. We're talking a 55-inch screen, 4K resolution, and of course it's a smart TV running on the Tizen operating system.
Tizen. That's Samsung's own operating system for their smart TVs. It's like the brains behind all the apps and menus.
So basically how smoothly everything runs and how easy it is to find what you're looking for.
Exactly. And Samsung's put a lot of work into making Tizen user-friendly, so you should be able to navigate it without any headaches.
That's always a plus. Nobody wants to spend hours figuring out their TV.
No, definitely not. Especially when there's so much great content to watch.
Right. Speaking of content, I noticed this model has something called a Crystal Processor 4K. It sounds impressive, but what does it actually do?
Well, it basically acts like an upscaler, takes all the content you're watching and makes it look as close to 4K resolution as possible.
Even if it wasn't originally filmed in 4K?
Even then. So you're going to get the sharpest, most detailed picture this TV can offer.
Oh, wow. So I could even watch my old DVDs and they'd look amazing.
You got it. It won't magically turn them into true 4K, but it'll definitely make them look better than ever.
Pretty cool. Okay, so we've got 4K resolution, a fancy processor, and what about this PurColour technology I keep seeing mentioned? Is that just a marketing gimmick?
It's more than just a fancy name. Think of it like this. PurColour expands the range of colors the TV can display. So instead of just basic shades, you're going to get those really subtle variations, the kind of colors that make everything look more realistic and immersive.
Okay, so it's like giving the TV a bigger box of crayons. More colors to work with.
That's a great way to put it. More colors mean a more vibrant, lifelike picture. Especially noticeable in nature documentaries. You know those lush landscapes and colorful animals?
Oh, I can imagine. Okay, so we've covered the basics, but now I want to get into some of the cooler features. Like, this TV also has something called Object Tracking Sound Lite. What's that all about?
Well, you know how in movies, when a car speeds across the screen, you hear the sound panning from left to right?
Yeah, it's like the sound is actually following the action.
Exactly. That's what Object Tracking Sound tries to do. It analyzes the audio and makes it seem like the sound is moving along with the objects on screen.
So it's kind of like having surround sound, but without all the extra speakers.
You could say that. It's a simpler version of surround sound. Still creates a more immersive experience, though.
Very cool. Okay, so we've got awesome picture quality, immersive sound, but now let's talk about the Samsung Smart and Gaming Hub. Now, I'm a bit of a gamer myself.
Oh yeah, me too.
So this sounds right up my alley. Essentially, it's like having all your streaming apps and games all in one place.
Well, that's the idea. No more switching inputs or fumbling with different remotes. It's all neatly organized within the gaming hub.
And it has cloud gaming support too.
Yep. You can stream games directly to your TV from services like Xbox Cloud Gaming, NVIDIA GeForce Now, and a few others.
No console required.
Not necessarily, no. It depends on the game and the service. But the idea is to make gaming more accessible.
So even if I don't have a gaming PC or a console, I could still play some pretty cool games right on this TV.
That's the beauty of cloud gaming. It's all about breaking down those barriers.
Well, that's pretty amazing. Okay, so we've got movies, games, but there's one more thing that really caught my eye. SmartThings compatibility. I'm a big fan of smart home tech.
Yeah, it's definitely the way of the future, right?
Totally. And the idea of controlling my entire house through my TV, that's next level.
It's pretty cool. You can control things like your lights, thermostats, security cameras, all from the comfort of your couch.
So it's not just about watching TV. It's about controlling your whole environment.
You got it. Creating that perfect atmosphere for whatever you're doing.
I love it. This is like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I need to catch my breath. We've covered a lot of ground already, but we've got to talk about energy efficiency too. That's important to me.
Absolutely. Being mindful of our energy consumption is crucial these days.
And I see this TV has an energy efficiency rating of G.
That's the lowest rating on the scale. But before you get too concerned.
Yeah, because that doesn't sound too good.
It's not the whole story. This TV has a feature called AI Energy Mode.
AI Energy Mode. Okay, what does that do?
It uses artificial intelligence to optimize energy usage. It monitors what you're watching and adjusts the screen brightness accordingly.
So if I'm watching a dark movie, the screen will automatically dim.
Exactly. Saves energy without sacrificing picture quality.
Okay, so it's like having a little energy-saving buddy built right into the TV.
Pretty much. It's working behind the scenes to make sure you're not wasting energy.
That's reassuring. Okay, so we've covered a lot of the technical stuff. But now I want to know what real people are saying about this TV. Let's dive into those customer reviews. What are people loving? What are they not so thrilled about?
It seems like the setup is super easy. People are praising that.
Plug and play. That's always a win.
Exactly. No complicated instructions or hours spent trying to figure things out.
What about the picture quality? That's got to be a big one, right?
People are raving about it. The colors are vivid. The details are sharp. Lots of praise for how good 4K content looks.
I bet. What about gaming? Any feedback from gamers on that front?
Gamers seem happy too, especially with the gaming hub and the cloud gaming options. They say the experience is smooth with minimal lag.
That's great to hear. So far, so good. But I'm sure not everyone is completely satisfied. What are some of the drawbacks people have mentioned?
Well, the sound quality seems to be a bit of a sticking point for some. They say the speakers are a bit tiny.
Yeah, that's a common complaint with TVs these days. They're so thin, there's not much room for powerful speakers.
Exactly, but it sounds like it's not a deal breaker for most people.
Okay, so sound is something to consider. What else have people mentioned?
Some reviewers said the screen could be a bit dim in brightly lit rooms. Might be something to think about if your living room gets a lot of sunlight.
Good point. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, from specs and features to user feedback, but this is just the beginning of our deep dive.
There's still much more to explore.
We need to take a closer look at cloud gaming, SmartThings integration, and that AI energy mode. See how all these features measure up in real life?
Exactly, and ultimately figure out if this TV is the right fit for you and your needs.
So stay tuned, we'll be right back after a quick. Well, we won't be back, we're just gonna keep talking.
Well, we're just getting started.
But first, a word from our sponsors. Just kidding. No sponsors here, we're diving right back in. Now, before we got sidetracked by all the amazing features this TV has, we were talking about the sound quality. Some reviewers weren't too impressed.
Yeah, it seems like the built-in speakers are a bit of a weak spot. Not uncommon with these slim TVs, though. They often sacrifice sound quality for a sleek design.
So what do you suggest? Headphones.
Headphones could work, sure, but if you want a more cinematic experience, a soundbar is the way to go.
Makes sense. A soundbar would definitely boost the audio quality.
Big time. And they're pretty easy to set up too, no need to run wires all over the place.
Okay, soundbars noted. But let's get back to those concerns about screen brightness. Some reviewers said it wasn't ideal for brightly lit rooms. Any tips for dealing with that?
Well, you can't really control the sun, can you?
Sadly, no.
But you can definitely optimize your viewing environment. Invest in some blackout curtains, maybe?
Blackout curtains. Okay, that's a good idea. Keep the sun out and create a more theater-like experience.
Exactly. It's all about setting the mood.
All right, so we've talked about the potential drawbacks. Now let's get back to the exciting stuff. We touched on cloud gaming earlier, and honestly, my mind is still blown. No console required. Just stream games directly to your TV. It's like magic. Can you explain how that even works?
It's all about the cloud. Instead of having the game running on your console or PC, it's running on powerful servers somewhere else.
So it's like streaming a movie on Netflix, but I'm playing the game.
That's a great analogy. The game is essentially being streamed to your TV, and your controller inputs are being sent back to the server in real time.
Wow, that's incredible. So what's the catch? There's got to be a catch, right?
Well, the biggest factor is your internet connection. You need a fast, stable connection with low latency for a smooth gaming experience.
So if my internet is spotty, I'm out of luck.
Pretty much, yeah. Lag is the enemy of any gamer, especially in competitive games. And there's always the possibility of server issues too, which are beyond your control.
I see. So cloud gaming has its limitations.
It does, but it's still a relatively new technology. As internet infrastructure improves, cloud gaming will only get better.
That's exciting. I mean, the idea of having access to a massive library of games without needing a console or a gaming PC is pretty amazing.
And it's getting more and more accessible every day. The fact that this TV has a dedicated gaming hub and supports major cloud gaming platforms like Xbox Cloud Gaming and NVIDIA GeForce now means you're well equipped to explore this new world of gaming.
Speaking of new worlds, let's talk about SmartThings. This is the feature that really got me geeking out. Controlling my entire house through my TV. Sign me up. But can you give me some concrete examples of how it actually uses SmartThings in real life?
Okay, picture this. You come home after a long day, plop down on the couch, reach for the remote, and with one press of a button, boom, the TV turns on, the lights dim, the thermostat adjusts to your preferred temperature, and your favorite playlist starts playing on your smart speaker.
Okay, you had me at plop down on the couch. That sounds amazing.
It's all about creating that perfect ambiance, effortlessly. And it's not just about controlling individual devices. You can set up routines and automations too. So for example, you could have a good morning routine that turns on the lights, adjusts the thermostat, and starts your coffee maker when your alarm goes off.
Or a movie night routine that dims the lights, closes the blinds, and turns on the surround sound.
Exactly. You're only limited by your imagination. And the setup is super easy. You just download the SmartThings app, connect your compatible devices, and you're good to go.
Sounds pretty straightforward. But I do have one concern. I've got a bunch of different smart home devices from various brands. Will they all play nicely with SmartThings?
Compatibility is definitely something to consider. SmartThings supports a wide range of devices, but it's always a good idea to double-check the compatibility list on Samsung's website. They're constantly adding new devices to their ecosystem, though.
Good to know. So SmartThings is basically a one-stop shop for controlling my entire smart home, all through my TV. That's incredible.
It's all about simplifying your life, making technology work for you.
Okay, enough about the future of home automation. Let's get back to the present and address the elephant in the room. Energy efficiency. We saw that this TV has an energy efficiency rating of G, which isn't exactly reassuring.
I know, it doesn't look great on paper, but remember that AI energy mode we talked about earlier?
Yeah, the energy-saving wizard built into the TV. Tell me more about how that works.
Well, it constantly monitors what you're watching and adjusts the screen brightness accordingly. So if you're watching a dark scene, the backlight will automatically dim to save energy.
Smart. But how much energy does it actually save? Does the TV give you any data on that?
Unfortunately, no. It's all happening behind the scenes. You won't see any specific numbers or stats.
So it's a bit of a mystery. We just have to trust that it's working.
Well, think of it this way. Even if it saves a little bit of energy, it's still a step in the right direction. And considering all the other amazing features this TV has, I think it's a fair trade-off.
True. Okay, so we've covered sound quality, screen brightness, cloud gaming, SmartThings, and energy efficiency. We've explored the pros and cons, the good and the bad. But there's one crucial factor we haven't discussed yet.
The price tag.
Price tag.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to value for money, right?
Absolutely. And in this case, the Samsung DU7110 is priced at £349.99 on Amazon.co.uk. Which, considering everything it offers, is pretty competitive.
It does seem like a good deal, but value is subjective. What would you say to someone who's on the fence about buying this TV?
Well, I'd say if you're looking for a feature-packed 4K smart TV with a sleek design and a ton of cool features, this is definitely a strong contender.
Especially if you're into gaming, cloud streaming, and all that futuristic smart home stuff.
Exactly. It's a TV that's designed for the modern entertainment enthusiast.
But if sound quality is your top priority, you might want to consider adding a sound bar to your budget.
And if you tend to watch TV in a brightly lit room, you might want to think about getting some blackout curtains.
It's all about tailoring your setup to your specific needs and preferences.
Exactly. We've given you all the information you need to make an informed decision. Now it's up to you to decide if the Samsung DU7110 is the right fit for your lifestyle.
All right, so we've explored the features, analyzed the reviews, and pondered the future of television. I think we've earned a little break. Just kidding. We're diving straight into the final part of our deep dive. Stay tuned for some closing thoughts and a provocative question that'll leave you thinking long after this episode is over. Okay, so we've dissected this TV, looked at all the angles, but it's really got me thinking about the bigger picture here.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in all the specs and the cool features, but it is interesting to sort of zoom out and think about where all this is heading.
Right, like with this whole gaming hub thing and cloud gaming becoming more and more popular, it makes you wonder, are consoles on their way out?
It's a valid question. I mean, think about it. If you can stream pretty much any game you want right to your TV, who needs a clunky old console?
Yeah, exactly. And this TV is clearly designed with that future in mind. But then, what happens to all the game developers, the publishers, the whole industry, really?
It'll definitely shake things up. Could be a whole new era for gaming, a shift in how games are made, how we pay for them. It's exciting, but kind of scary, too.
Totally. And it's not just gaming that's changing. This whole SmartThings thing, it's like, whoa, the future is here. I mean, controlling your entire house through your TV.
Right. Lights, thermostat, security cameras, it's all connected. And it's only going to get more sophisticated, more integrated.
I'm picturing a world where, like, my TV knows when I'm getting home from work and automatically adjusts the temperature, starts my favorite playlist.
It maybe even starts dinner. Who knows what's possible? But it's all about making our lives easier, more comfortable. Technology that anticipates our needs.
It does sound kind of utopian, doesn't it? But there's got to be a flip side too, right? I mean, all this connectivity, all this data being shared, it makes you think about privacy and security.
You're absolutely right. It's a valid concern. The more connected our homes become, the more vulnerable we potentially are.
So we need to be smart about it, right?
Yeah.
Do our research, choose reputable brands, be careful about what information we're sharing.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance between embracing the convenience and protecting ourselves. It's not always easy.
No, definitely not. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, I think we've covered pretty much everything there is to know about this Samsung DU7110 Smart TV.
From the technical specs to the broader implications of this technology, it's been quite a journey.
But ultimately, the decision of whether or not to buy this TV is up to you, the listener.
We've given you the information, the insights, the food for thought. Now it's time to make that decision.
So as you're weighing your options, thinking about your next TV purchase, here's a final question to ponder. In a world where technology is constantly evolving, how do we make sure it's actually enhancing our lives, not just distracting us?
It's a good question to ask ourselves. Technology can be a powerful tool, but it's up to us to use it wisely.
And with that, we'll wrap up our deep dive into the Samsung DU7110 Smart TV. We hope you found it informative and maybe even a little bit inspiring. Until next time, happy viewing.